Hi, everybody. Matt Bernier, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker, taking a look at this weekend's Weekend Warrior for the weekend of July the 28th. Two from Saratoga, one from Del Mar. The one out of Del Mar happens to be a grade one. Let's start off with the grass up at the spa. Mile and 3/8 on the inner turf. Mike, the Bowling Green. You've got 9 horses signed on in here. Where are you going to go?
The two horses I want here, Matt, are Happy and Manitoulin, but I'm going with Manitoulin because he's going to be the bigger price of it. And I'm actually very comfortable with that because Manitoulin ran a giant race at 30-1 in the Manhattan last time. I mean, if you go back and watch the replay, and I recommend people do, he was caught ridiculously wide on the first turn. He was 5 or 6 wide on the first turn. He was 3 to 4 wide on the fourth turn. He was close to a pace that was strong and contested. And he was still battling for the lead in deep stretch, only before weakening very slightly late. And he wasn't beat up late. He was beaten 3/4 of a length for all of it. I mean, it was a really big performance. I think price is going to be bigger even this time than his actual chances of winning. I thought High Happy ran big in the Manhattan as well. I mean, he disputed that early pace. He fell back on the inside late in the far turn, got off the inside and upper section, re-rallied, and was just ahead of Manitoulin a close third. Salary Story is obviously the horse to beat in this race. I mean, he finished second in the Manhattan, although I thought he had no excuse not to win that race. He had that field measured at deep stretch and didn't get close to the deal. It's just that he's not going to be that much for price. At least he's consistent. At least he's going to show up, but it's not going to be that much for price. And he's run second in his last 2 starts. I think he really could have won both of them.
Couple of great ones on Saturday. One's up at the spa. One is out at Del Mar. You're going to take a look at the Bing Crosby. You've got 11 signed on in here. You've got the Breeders' Cup Sprint Champion and the Ratings Sprint Champion himself, and Roy H. You've also got a number of other Grade 1 winners. Where are you going to go in here?
Well, I'm going to go with Ransom the Moon, but I mean, Roy H. is obviously the horse to beat. Roy H. was last year's champion sprinter, but let's call it like it was. I mean, when he won the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he took advantage of a distinct outside bias at Del Mar. When he won the True North the day before the Belmont Stakes early last year, he took advantage of a distinct outside track bias. And in Dubai, in his last start, when he was third in the Dubai Golden Shaheen, I thought he was kind of flat and empty. So, while he is the most accomplished horse in the race and certainly a deserving Eclipse Award winner, I think he might be just a tad vulnerable. The Moon beat Roy H. in this race last year. He was the luckiest horse on the planet to do it. I'll be the first to admit it, because Roy H. was carried out to the parking lot and Ransom the Moon came up to the inside and got the money, and Roy H. finished second. But if Roy H. doesn't show up in this race, Ransom the Moon is still the horse that I want. He's suitably coming back to a sprint, which is the right thing after an okay effort in the Met Mile last time out. And he's going to get the kind of trip that I think has actually worked well at Del Mar early in the meet. He's going to get that outside stalking trip. He's, to me, the other horse in the race.
There's a couple of sprints going on up at Saratoga on Saturday. We'll talk about the 3-year-old race, the Amsterdam 6.5 furlongs, race number 7. You've got 4 of the 7 horses. They're exiting the Woody Stevens. Are you going to go with one of those, or do you want a fresh face?
I am going to go with one of the horses out of the Woody Stevens map, but not the one that this race looks on paper might be set up for, that being Engage, who finished second in the Woody Stevens. Actually, I didn't like the fact that Engage got an ideal trip in that race. It was outkicked late by a big up-in-class 13-1 shot that day. I'm going with World of Trouble, who was dueling on the pace with Promises Fulfilled in the Woody Stevens, helped set the table for Engage, and wound up finishing 4th just behind Promises Fulfilled, who finished 3rd. I'm hoping this time Old Time Revival is the one that goes up and duels with Promises Fulfilled, and World of Trouble sits in the garden spot outside 3rd, just off the speed duel, and takes advantage of it. And I think that if he works out that kind of trip, he can get the money here.
Great racing on both coasts this weekend. DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker with this weekend's Weekend Warrior for July the 28th. You can find the entire write-up over on DRF.com. Mike, great stuff as always. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Matt.